So, yes, sure. Thank you very much. Could you come to the microphone, please? Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's an interesting to see that you mentioned your book on yeah. All right, okay. Yeah. It was a book that you wrote a few years ago on the advent of Islam in the U.S. even before anybody else knew about it. I'm wondering if you're going to improve upon it or maybe make a new edition of it, because I feel that it needs an update, because the information that you have there is I don't want to be rude, sorry. it's really short, and I think it'd be good if it can be expanded, new images maybe, or new anecdotes, new evidences. I think that will make it a very nice book. Yes, all right.
I went to the Office of the Population in New York University in Canada, and I talked with them. They challenged me, and I gave them the information, and they admitted it was correct. But the only thing they could prove, they said, how did they get that? I said, well, that's not my thesis. My thesis is that they made it across.
Yes.
So they admitted that this is true. This is found to be right. So there is a second edition, and as you say, there is a need to expand it even more, so that to make it available to people in Salah. And I will, through the leadership, try to get the second edition to you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Next question, please. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Hakim from that tree. My question is, you recited, I think, Surah Kafir just now. I think somewhere in the second verse you mentioned about giving sacrifice to God. Is this concept of sacrifice similar to the Christian concept of sacrifice of atonement? And if we do have to give sacrifice, what are the reasons for it, and does God give sacrifice?
Well, it is basically a practice that has been done through the prophet, from the beginning of time. Sacrifices were made, and the meat is distributed to the poor, and it is a means of commitment. So in other words, the sacrifice in Islam, it is not made just to sacrifice and burn it and throw it away. And it's not made to the God or the idols or anything like that. It is made to the Creator, but the meat is actually given to the poor and the needy. And so it is a commitment, and there's a way of giving, charity, show seriousness to Allah. Allah does not need our sacrifice. Allah needs nothing from us. But this is a means of our showing commitment to the Creator of the heavens.
Next, please.
I'm not yet a Muslim, but my name given by my parents. Okay? I have summary, the two main groups of Islam, no, Muslim, Shia and Sunni, they don't get along well in the Arab country. So my question is, Dr. Christie, Islam scholar with deep knowledge of Quran, are you allow me to point the word universal or true Muslim? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. It's a very good question. And really, as I pointed out, the greatest blessing of Islam is for the individual himself. And so when you're accepting Islam, it is strengthening, it gives you that direct connection with the Creator. And in your prayers, you're actually talking to God. And so it shows you how to purify yourself, how to communicate with the Creator. And then also how to protect yourself in this world, with all of the problems and evils around us. It purifies the individual. This really is the essence of Islam. And you find this in the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself. And during his time, all of the Muslims were united. And during the following generations, he said the next generation is mine, and then the one that follows me, and then the one that follows. And so in this early time, especially with the Prophet, the religion was complete. And so when you take your source, and you take your information from that source, you are drinking fresh water. And this is the important thing about Islam. And so the people who follow the basic message from the beginning is what it's called, they follow Quran, the book, and Sunnah. The Sunnah is the way of the tradition of Islam. And so this is the overwhelming majority of the Muslims. That is what the word Sunni really means. We've never used this word ourselves before, because Sunni only means one who follows the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The word Shia is only a sect, a group, which broke away from the mainstream. And so human beings have this strange tendency to divide themselves up. And you'll get a group of 10 people and you'll have 10 opinions. And so it's human beings who have broken into different groups. And Muslims, like other religions, have suffered where people have broken up and formed little groups. The difference between us is that we have the original source. We can go back to the original source and we can find out what Islam really is, and we can revive it. And what that also means is that you as an individual, you don't have to get caught up on the culture of people. If you become Muslim, you don't have to become an Indian. You don't have to become a Malay. You don't have to become an Arab. You can maintain your own identity, but the principles of Islam, you use these principles through your own identity and through your own method. That is the beauty of Islam. And you will see far corners of the world where people practice Islam, their clothing is different than Arab, their lifestyle is slightly different, but the principles are the same. And the Arabic language unites us. Arabic unites us. I visited Hong Kong once, and when I visited Hong Kong some years ago, and Macau, and when I visited there, I went to the masjid there, and the imam could not speak English. And so I could not speak Chinese, Cantonese, I cannot speak that. But the imam was an educated person, and he spoke Arabic. And I can speak Arabic. So we sat down as brothers, and we became friends like we knew each other for 20 years. So that is one of the blessings of the Quran itself, the classical Arabic, not colloquial street Arabic. The classical Arabic and the fact that this unites you with people all over the place. But the key point is to go to the source. That's what I do, that's what we all need to do, and don't worry about the cultures of people, because people have changed everything on the face of the planet. The difference between the other religions and our religion is that we can go back to the original source. We can go to that source and drink from fresh water and put it into our life.